We're talking now with Jim. Jim, you're with Allworth Money Matters.
Hello, this is Jim.
Hi, Jim. Glad you joined us. How can we be of help?
Question in reference to I have a 401k plan that I've been contributing to, and I've been considering putting some money into a Roth 401k. And what's the pros and cons on whether I do the current contribution as a Roth, or if I leave it go in as traditional and then just do a Roth conversion from my 401k into a Roth 401k within the same plan?
Well, great question. Maybe we should ask it a little bit differently, which is not do I do a Roth conversion in the existing plan, but do I wait till I retire and then decide whether to do Roth conversions?
So technically, it would be a wash.
If you did it the way you described
Assuming you could do a Roth conversion from the plan while you're still working, which the plan may or may not allow.
But normally what happens is that you take the deduction while you're working, and then you do the Roth conversions between the time you retire and your required minimum distribution at age 75. So
Or better, sometimes it makes sense to do a Roth contribution. And if you're putting in, let's say, 10 grand a year, I'm just throwing a number out, pre-tax, well, that 10,000 is going to be taxed in retirement, so it's not going to be worth 10 grand when you pull it out because you got to pay the tax man. So maybe it's worth 7 grand, as opposed to if you put in 10 grand on the Roth, you've paid the tax, so you've paid that extra 3 grand to the tax man today, and then when you pull it out of retirement, it's tax free. So clearly, dollar for dollar, money in a Roth's worth much more than money in a pre-tax. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't do the pre-tax, but.
So tell us about your situation. How old are you? How much money do you make? How much money are in these plans? Do you plan on living in the state of Cal? Where are you from?
Kentucky.
Okay. So how much money are in your plans now?
Right, currently in the 401k. First off, I just turned 60 in July. Currently in the 401k is approximately $1.3 million. It's broken down to like about 84,000 in like a savings within that. 735 is in a 2030 target fund, and about 490,000 in the Vanguard 500 index.
Okay, and how much do you make?
100,000.
And do you have a Roth, any Roth money now?
Yeah. Like I said, 94,000 of that 1.3 is considered Roth.
Oh, got it. Okay.
All right. And do you have any money in IRAs outside this?
Yes. I have approximately, 21, 20, 28, 38, about 50,000.
And are you married?
Single, no kids.
And the money outside in the regular IRAs, are they Roth or pre-tax?
The amount I just said, about 50-some, is Roth. In addition to that, I have another 260 that's in short-term, relatively short-term CDs, about 30 of that 2 years out.
Any of this inherited money, or did you earn all this?
All that is earned. I do have another 9,000 that was an inherited that's sitting in a IRA.
And will you receive a pension when you retire?
A small one.
Okay.
If I wait till 65 to claim it, I'm eligible to claim it now.
Are you retired now? No.
No.
When do you plan on retiring?
Somewhere between 2 to 5 years, probably.
You're an incredible saver.
Yes.
I would not contribute to the Roth today.
I would not contribute to
And
the
here's
Roth.
why. So it's all based upon where taxes are, right? Nobody knows where taxes are going to go in the future. But what we do know is the tax code is very progressive. And what do we mean by that? Like your first $11,000 of income, taxable income, this is after deductions, it's really about $20,000 of income. You pay no tax at all. I'm sorry, your deductions you pay no tax. The first $20,000, it's roughly 10% is the tax rate. From roughly $10,000 to $50,000 ballpark, you're in a 12% tax rate. Then it bumps from 12 to 22%, and then from 22 to 24. Right. So maybe tax rates are going to go up in the future, but right now we know that you can take you're getting a deduction at the 22%, maybe even the 24%. And at retirement, when you go to leave, that's to Pat's point at the beginning of the call. He said oftentimes we see people doing Roth conversions during the years between the time they retire and the required minimum distributions. It gives you the best opportunity for you is those years when you're not going to have much in the way of taxable income. You may even choose to defer Social Security for a couple years.
And do the conversions then.
And do some Roth conversions, maybe even live off some savings. Do some Roth conversions during those years.
Because you've got $260,000 in CDs.
You can take a deduction today at 22%, and then convert it later at 12%. Maybe the 12% will be a higher rate, 14, 15, but it's not going to be higher. It's because your taxable income is going to be much lower if we do the planning correct.
The answer to your question is no, don't use the Roth. But and by the way, phenomenal saver, and this is Cinderella tax planning the day you retire. I mean, this is you look at this and you're like, holy smokes. I don't know if Jim did this on purpose, but it's perfect. You've got money in different places that you can set it up the day you retire and just decide, okay, this is how I'm going to take income. This is how it looks. This is when I'm taking Social Security. Brilliant. And so when you go to retire, you need to actually address that. And it's going to probably take a qualified tax advisor or a financial advisor. Let me ask you one question. Do you have an HSA available to you?
Yes.
And are you spending that HSA? Are you using it for health care?
Small amounts of it, but not a whole lot of it.
I wouldn't use a dime.
Yeah, I'd let it accumulate.
I'd let it accumulate. And I'd put it all in the S&P 500. And you can probably do that through your employer. We have it here at Allworth, where you can direct your HSA into an investment account. I don't spend a dime in my HSA.
I don't either.
For years, my wife fought me on it, wanting to spend it. And finally, she's like, well, this makes sense.
Hey, I appreciate the call, Jim. And based on what you told us, continue the pre-tax contributions. When you retire, odds are the recommendation would be, if you were retiring today, clearly the recommendation would be, let's do a Roth conversion over a couple year period of time. Based upon the high level you have in savings, would probably just use your savings for your income, push up the tax rates through that Roth conversion, get a nice good sized chunk of your pre-tax dollars into Roth. It's perfect planning for you.
Perfect.
Yeah.